I want to say a word about modernity, which I do say I have much to say about that, and will in this talk, as I talk about the modern challenge. But I want to quickly define something. It's easy when people hear a criticism of modernity or the modern project to think that you're opposed to technology. And suddenly people are saying, what about penicillin? What about, CAT scans or something like that? Modernity is not technology. Modernity is a philosophy, and that philosophy uses technology. And one of the things the philosophy of modernity does, which started somewhere early 1800s or so, birthed maybe in the 1700s, what we call modernity here in America largely is has its roots in the Scottish Enlightenment, not the German Enlightenment, but the Scottish Enlightenment. But part of the story that modernity tells about itself is that modernity is technology. And that if you are opposed to its philosophy, if you're opposed to its project, then you're really, sort of standing in the way. And that you're not in favor of healing diseases or things like that. And people forget, they were doing medicine a long time before the modern world. They had doctors in Byzantium. The Apostle Luke was a physician. This is human beings have been doing technology since we sharpened the first stick, and then the guy at the cave next door learned how to sharpen a stick better, and sold it to the guy in the third cave, and on and on. It's gone ever since. Technology, technique, as Jonathan was telling us, is just human. But modernity has a story about itself. That one of the ways, and we heard this in our history classes growing up, in my history classes growing up, that, it was told in a way that all of human history had been really in preparation for this. And even modern scholarship has named periods. I mean, the word modern in Latin really just means the present time. But we renamed things like the medieval period, meaning the Middle Ages. Middle of what? Modern. And what was before the Middle Ages? The Dark Ages, Monty Python, and all of that. Just sort of the Dark Ages, which is, now they've renamed it and they call it late antiquity. But so much of it begs the question, because you share these stories of progress and use progress as this model, and so you therefore say progress is good and this is the movement of history, and everybody who's not on board is somehow or another standing in the way. There was an article, a British article, a couple of years ago about this problem, and it noted that it was a particular criticism someone was doing about terrorism in the Middle East, and saying that it was positively medieval. And the writer noted, well, actually, it's modern. What time do you think it is? But you see, you can say that. And when you say that, it is a way of actually privileging yourself, and not trying to recognize the fact that that actually has a right to exist, that point of view is somehow doesn't belong here. You've got to get with the program. You've got to kind of catch up with the modern world. Well, the greatest challenge for the church in this age of this modern period, and it really is the challenge in any other age as well, is to believe that Jesus Christ is the incarnate Son of God, and that He truly reveals to us the path of salvation. That is how it is that we are united with God. And it's the challenge of believing that His life and self-emptying love are the true model of what it means to be fully human and fully united with God. This is not just a private religious interest that we have. That's not what we believe as Christians. Modernity would actually like you to do that, to hold your religion lightly. to, like, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. This is not my opinion. I gave my life to it. This is something you die for. Opinions should change. This is something the 20th century produced more Christian martyrs than all of the centuries before. But part of the modern American project was for us to agree that the secular project was the main work of mankind, and your religion is something that you have with your special interest groups. And of course it works out better than having religious wars as they were doing in Europe before and around the time of the founding of America. So you can see how they got there, but sometimes it's problematic.